Very good morning, friends. Today we are going to discuss about cholesterol. It's a very important subject. There are a lot of myths and misinformation about this subject. We are going to discuss what is good cholesterol, what is bad cholesterol, how to improve the good cholesterol, how to reduce bad cholesterol. All these things we are going to discuss. I am going to discuss in such a way that the slides are very useful for doctors, healthcare providers, and my discussion is going to be very important for all the people, particularly the latter of my discussion, that is how to reduce the LDL cholesterol, will be very useful for everyone. Cholesterol is a biomolecule. You all know that. Biomolecule means what? It is something like a glucose. Glucose is very important. Like that, cholesterol is also important, and it is present only in the animal cells, not in the plant cells. What is in the plant cells is called plant steroids, sterols. And it is a fat or fatty-like substance. So it is insoluble in water. So it takes very important measures to either get digest, absorb, or travel in the bloodstream. Look at the synthesis of steroids. It's a very big thing. Finally, it is converted into 27 carbons in the form of 4 rings, that is called cyclopentanoperohydropananthen ring, and it is very important. This ring, that is called steroid ring, is very important, and it does many functions. It forms cell membrane. Actually, every human contains, the human body contains 30 trillion cells. All the cells are covered by cell membrane. So along with the phospholipids, look at that, the cholesterol is also very important for the fluidity of the cells. It also important for the synthesis of steroid hormones, particularly the aldosterone, cortisol, progesterone. I think last 3, progesterone, estrogen, testosterone, these are all called sex steroids. For that, cholesterol is very important. Because of the steroid backbone, and it is also essential for the synthesis of vitamin D. See, vitamin D now widely talked, very important. Actually, the 7-dehydrocholesterol is acted upon by the sunlight, particularly ultraviolet B rays, and that converts into cholesterol, cholecalciferol, that is vitamin D3. And again, it is also important for bile salts formation. Bile is important for absorption of all the fats, triglycerides, cholesterol esters, fat soluble vitamins. All these things are all properly absorbed, because these bile salts are very important for the emulsification of fats. Fats, it is also called as triglycerides, and cholesterol present in all the tasty food that we cherish or enjoy. Actually, these two, fats and cholesterol, always been together. Look at the structure. This is the structure, and you cannot segregate in the food substance. And in fact, they also travel together like a Laurel and Hardy. Okay, fats and cholesterol travel together. Why? This is because they are fatty substances that cannot travel in the blood. Blood is water soluble, so you cannot travel. So it needs some proteins. The protein should carry them. So that is what done by the apoproteins that we are going to discuss. So that is the reason why sometimes we may confuse. Sometimes they may talk about the fats, sometimes talk about the cholesterol, because they always get transported, for which lipoproteins are very important. Coming to the sources, look at that, 75% of the cholesterol is endogenously produced in the form of LDL. Okay, this is very important. Whether you take cholesterol or not in the food, that is immaterial, because only 25% of the cholesterol comes from the exogenous, that is from the diet. Actually, it is in the form of chylomicrons. Okay, so the VLDL and chylomicrons are very important for the absorption of not only in the cholesterol but also in the circulation of fats. And we are going to see this circulation and all later. So, what I want to say that the liver is the central point. Whatever the diet, that is a small intestine, whatever the fats converted into chylomicrons and it enter into the circulation. Like that, in liver we also synthesis VLDL and that is called endogenous. It also enter into the circulation. Actually, both of them circulate in such a way that they go and deposit their contents to the peripheral tissues, but particularly all the cells of the body, muscle cells, heart cells, adipose tissue. If it is excess, they are going to get deposited and all. So that is the reason why we always discuss fats and cholesterol together. So dietary absorption is called as chylomicrons. What we synthesis is called as VLDL. I already said fats and cholesterol transported as lipoproteins in the bloodstream, for which proteins are very, very important. Actually, look at the protein, yellow one. The protein form a shield like thing around the cholesterol, triglyceride, cholesterol ester, and that these particles are getting transmitted in the bloodstream and they reach the heart, muscle, adipose tissue and all. Actually, the surrounding proteins are varying. Actually, this sometimes in chylomicrons, the protein is called as B48. This is an exam question. And the one that carry, if it is there, B100 is the one that is present in VLDL, ILDL and LDL. So B100, this apoprotein is very important for the transport of this group. And HDL, A1 apoprotein is very important. Almost in all these lipoproteins, we also have E and C, and they also have some important function that we are going to discuss later. I think lipoprotein structure, this is only for the doctors. It is my duty to tell something about that. So if you look at the lipoprotein, look at, this is a polar, that is hydrophilic side. And the central is hydrophobic side. In the hydrophilic side, actually phospholipids and proteins are there. Okay, and in the center we see cholesterol esters, all these things are all. Actually, these proteins is the one that form a shell, and they take these particles in the bloodstream. I already said there are several proteins: ApoA1, ApoB, ApoC2, ApoE, ApoD. These are all having a very important function. It's a real exam question for the medical students. Simply, apoprotein A1 is very important for HDL. Okay, B is ApoB is very important. ApoB, sometimes it is called ApoB 100. It is very important for LDL and VLDL. Okay, and ApoC is the one that releases after the action of lipoprotein lipase. It hydrolyzes the triglycerides and facilitate the actually it is helpful in the reverse cholesterol transport. Okay, I think you can go into that. And finally, ApoE is the one that clear everything. It is helpful in the clearance of all the proteins, particularly the chylomicron and VLDL. Now it is very interesting to you. Anybody who are very worried about their health, immediately they will go for blood sugar and lipid profile. When you go for the lipid profile, this is the one that we are going to get: cholesterol, LDL, TGL, VLDL and all. Okay, so we should always see the cholesterol should be less than 200. Okay, and LDL should be less than 100, and VLDL should be less than 30. Actually, it is one fifth of TGL, total triglycerides. Okay, and HDL, we are going to talk about it, what is HDL and all. HDL should be always very high. It should be more than 50. This is a very normal profile, and anything is, if it is a deviation, then we have to consult the doctor whether you should reduce the cholesterol or we should increase the HDL cholesterol and all. I talked about whatever that has been synthesized, circulate in the form of VLDL, IDL, DL. Actually, during the circulation, they become small and small. Okay, the VLDL initially start with, after depositing some amount of triglycerides to the cells, it become IDL. Then still more, it become LDL. That is reason why LDL is the one very rich in cholesterol. Actually, LDL is a representation of cholesterol. And what they say, LDL carries cholesterol from the liver to the other tissues, and whereas HDL is the one, this subject that we want to discuss, carries the excess of cholesterol from back to the liver. Look at that. So now we are all very much concerned about the LDL cholesterol. So anybody who had LDL cholesterol more than 100, then we should consult the doctor how to reduce the LDL cholesterol. Simultaneously, HDL, I said, it removes the cholesterol back to the liver. So we also do some measure to increase the HDL cholesterol. Why they were all worried about LDL? Because LDL contribute plaque formation in the arteries. We all know blood vessels are very important for us. Actually, when the cholesterol excess, particularly the LDL cholesterol, damage the endothelium and they get deposited intra-arterially, okay, and forming a plaque. Plaque is something like that occludes the arteries. That is the reason why we are all very much about this LDL. It is called as bad cholesterol, and whereas HDL is the one that removes excess of cholesterol from the body. Even this HDL cholesterol remove whatever that plaques. That is the reason why HDL cholesterol is very, very important. Okay, so our idea is to reduce LDL cholesterol to increase the HDL cholesterol. This is only for the students. Low density lipoprotein, I already said, is a bad cholesterol. And again, there are a lot of research is going on this LDL. Not that all the LDL is very, sometimes if it is more than 100, we are all worried. But it is not like that. The LDL itself is divided into small dense and the large buoyant. Actually, these two classifications, among the large buoyant and the small dense, it is the lower one. Small dense, it is also called LPA, small a. It is very bad because it is going to be atherogenic. Okay, that's the reason why now in the advanced lipid profile they are testing this group, that is small dense LDL. Some people may ask me what is atherosclerosis. I already said, when the cholesterol, particularly the LDL cholesterol, becomes more and more, it gets deposited in the blood vessels, particularly in the intra-arterially. Initially it is a very small one. Sometimes they develop some claudication pain. Whichever the artery that occludes, that artery, even they may develop a limb pain. But if it is occlude the coronary arteries, then they may go for coronary ischemia. In extreme stages, they may go for heart attack and all. Whereas if they occlude the brain vessels, they may go for a stroke. That is the reason why LDL cholesterol should be decreased. HDL cholesterol, I already said, I am going to tell one or two slides about this. This is the one is considered to be a good cholesterol because it reverses the cholesterol from the periphery to the liver and remove the cholesterol, especially from the arteries. Again, this also divided into HDL3 and HDL2 and all, but generally it is a cardioprotective. This is a very good slide for the doctors. Low density lipoproteins, it is a bad cholesterol, and again it is divided into two, atherogenic, so it should be decreased. Whereas HDL, it is a good cholesterol, it removes plaques from the arteries, and it is a cardioprotective. It should be increased. Now this part is very important. For a common people, I think they simply forget, and we can start from this. What are the tips to lower the cholesterol? So reducing the saturated fats, healthy lifestyle. We are going to discuss this. It's very. I think if we go into the YouTube, I think many people will touch upon each one in a very big way. We have to listen to everyone, and in general, we have to reduce saturated fats. Actually, the fats are divided into saturated and unsaturated fats, and again, unsaturated fats are divided into monounsaturated and polyunsaturated. See, generally, these saturated fats are very problematic to us, whereas polyunsaturated fats are good for us. Again, trans fats, these are all more in the processed foods. See, that is why doctors say don't give processed food to your children, because these trans fats are the one that is very rich in packed foods, processed food, particularly ultra processed foods. That's the reason why you may enjoy. I am not telling. See, I always say life is to enjoy. See, for example, don't take too much on the same day. If your child wants to take pizza, give pizza on that day, but don't combine with the too much things. Okay? If the child is going to like your cupcake, give cupcake. Child want to take ice creams, give, but don't combine. That's what I say. Even this is so more so in adults. Sometimes they will go for a party, they will take everything. That is a problem. That will cause spiking of the blood sugar and also increases the LDL cholesterol. Generally, all of them, when the LDL cholesterol is more, we have to increase the plant-based diet. Okay, I think this is a very good slide, and on top time I am not going to everyone. So we have to all the things that given here, including the dark chocolate. See, dark chocolate is widely talked about that. Even sometimes the avocado, spinach, broccoli, these are all widely talked. Even strawberry berries are all they lower the saturated and trans fats, and they are also very high in the fiber, thereby reduce the cholesterol absorption. This is a very favorite subject of me. I always, my patients say, finally, whatever may be the disease, try to increase the vegetable, because vegetable not only reduce the cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, they contain a lot of phytochemicals and antioxidant. They act as an immune boosters. Okay, immune boosters means, for example, broccoli contain sulforaphane. Okay, carrots contain carotenoids, onions quercetin, garlic allicin, chili peppers contain capsaicin, turmeric curcumin. All these things are all having a scientific value, not only in reducing the LDL cholesterol, but also they act as an antimicrobial. Like that, leafy greens also is very important. I think I don't want to read everything, starting from kale to spinach to collards. These are all very important, and they are rich in soluble fibers. Actually, that I am going to tell you, you are having microbiota. Okay, our gut is full of microbiome, for which your green leafy vegetables are very important, and also they give a lot of vitamins like vitamin K, A, C and B complex and other things. Fruits also is my favorite subject, and WHO says I think for a good life at least you should take 300 to 400 grams of food. Mixed food is always better. Parents may ask what fruit and all the fruits are good. That's the reason why I encourage them to say seasonal fruits, starting from apples, strawberries, grapes, avocados, bananas, kiwi, guava. Actually, some fruits you can swap. Kiwi, what is there in the kiwi, that is also present in the guava. See, some places you cannot get kiwi, so you go for guava. Like that, sometimes that strawberries contain anthocyanin and all, that can be also swapped with sometimes what they say lycopene. They are all more or less Lycopene is very important to reduce the cancer, particularly the prostate cancer and breast cancer and all. So this is a separate subject. I want to talk in a different way. And beans also is very important to reduce the cholesterol, particularly LDL cholesterol, starting from kidney beans, black beans, pinto beans, nava beans. Actually, these are all beans are available in some parts of the world. Some beans are very famous. For example, black beans are very famous in Brazil, pinto beans in Mexico, lima in Guatemala, okay. Moong beans are in India, and chickpeas are in UK, okay. And rajma, I think this also is a very important one. Peanuts is available everywhere in China and other places and all. There are the excellent source of soluble fiber as well as soluble, and also they contain a good amount of protein. I think this is also very important for the common people, how to improve the HDL cholesterol, okay. I just now have been telling about how to reduce the LDL cholesterol. Now we just by increasing the HDL cholesterol we will get very good benefit also, okay. HDL cholesterol or HDL lipoprotein is very important for reverse cholesterol transport. Actually, it is depicted as apolipoprotein A1. See, HDL always carries this apoprotein. And for the reverse cholesterol transport, it's a very big subject. I don't want to go into that. Look at that, whatever the dietary intake, it comes as a chylomicron. It gets deposited in the tissues. And if it is excess, then it has to be naturally removed. That is what it is done by the pre-HDL, and that is HDL3, then HDL2. Actually, these HDL3 and HDL2 is the one that take away, for which two important proteins are very important. That is called ATP binding cassette transporters. That is APCA1 and APCA-G. APCA1 is the one that takes a very small amount, whereas APCA-G is the put lot of cholesterol and convert them into esters. Finally, with the help of LCAT, it esterifies the cholesterol into esters, and thereby, actually it's a very big step. That's why I always say that taking a fatty foods and cholesterol is it's going and get deposited, but removing is very difficult. The body finds to remove all these excess cholesterol and fats very difficult. And one more thing is, I already said the lecithin. Look at that, the final part, the LCAT is the one that's very important. And LCAT is nothing but lecithin cholesterol acetyl transferase, okay. And it is nothing but for the synthesis of that omega-3 fatty acids is very important. That's the reason why in the cholesterol, particularly to increase the HDL cholesterol, they say advised to take seafood or sometimes plant-based foods also, like a flaxseed, chia seeds, walnuts, or seafoods like, because seafoods, particularly the fatty fish, I am going to show that they are all rich in eicosa pentaenoic acid and docosa hexaenoic acid. These are all EPA and DHA is considered to be omega-3 fatty acids, and also alpha linoleic acid. These three form the omega-3 fatty acids. If you take that one, and it will increases the synthesis or removal of excessive LDL deposit in the peripheries. It is only for, I think I always fond of talking about this subject. Take fatty fish, but I am telling these are all very important for the life. If salmon is available, enjoy it. Tuna, because 80% of the world population, 80 to 90% are non-vegetarians. So they want to know. Actually, you can have see, I am not totally a vegetarian. I am really a non-vegetarian, but I selectively take some of them, of which my favorite food is salmon. And you can tuna, mackerel, herring, sardine, anchovy. These are all very important. That gives a lot of omega-3 fatty acids. Actually, these fishes they feed seaweeds and algae. Okay, these are all rich in sea, and that is the reason why these fishes are acquiring omega. So basically, seaweeds and algae are rich in omega-3 fatty acids that has been consumed by the fatty fish. Actually, nuts, particularly the walnuts and almonds. Almonds are, I think, this is a very great subject, and for simplicity, I am telling walnuts and almonds, they also increase the LDL cholesterol. Oats, barley, mushrooms, all these things are widely talked about because they are considered to be very important. Actually, these are all that contain beta D glucan. Actually, it is a polysaccharide. This polysaccharide they also contain soluble dietary fiber. Particularly the beta D glucan is very important for the gut microbiome. See, I am going to talk about what is actually, that is a way by these two they reduce the blood cholesterol. And I told about the gut microbiome. No? Actually, our body contains 30 trillion cells, but our gut contains 39 trillion cells. All this gut microbiome, particularly the lactobacillus, bifidobacterium, Akkermansia, Bacteroids, and Ecobacterium, all these things are all present in the gut. What part of the gut? It is in the cecum. The last part of the large intestine is full of this gut microbiota, and this gut microbiota plays a very, very important role. That's a separate discussion. Actually, now there is a connection between the gut and the brain. If your gut is all right, your brain is all right, your mood is all right, you can do much wonder things. So, for which some of the bacteria, they are called as super bacteria, that is very, very important. Actually, these also, by consuming, that's the reason why you are taking a food, the food is going to absorb, but some of the soluble, insoluble fibers should go to gut microbiota. That gut microbiota is the one, they utilize these soluble and insoluble fibers, and they produce short chain fatty acids. These short chain fatty acids are very important in the metabolism of body. Not only they reduce oxygen, actually they are reduces the reactive oxygen species. Okay, and the reactive, see, every cell during their metabolism they release a lot of oxygen and oxygen radicals. These are all very injurious to the health. Actually, these short chain fatty acids produced by microbiota is very important. They are not only in the LDL reduction but also in reducing the these sort of the oxygen radicals. They play a very important role. Healthy lifestyle is very important. I don't want to go there. At least 30 minutes exercise is very important, and I think women can keep their belly waist below 35 inches, and men can keep their belly below 40 inches. I think this is a very simple way. There are several ways. I always say that it's a very important one. For a children, they can go for either so many things, cycling, and all they can do dancing, and so many things they can do that reduce the because nowadays we are seeing obesity is a problem. How to reduce the weight? Every parent is asking so many questions. Simply increase the activity, either dancing, playing, or cycling, or even so many things. Indoor, I think group dancing plays a very important role. I think cholesterol lowering drugs is a topic meant for doctors, and I don't want to go into that. There are some drugs that increase, act on the gut, that increases the cholesterol excretion. And there are some guts that prevent the cholesterol formation itself. They are all called statins. Okay, statins. And there are some drugs that act on the blood vessel, and they also reduce the VLDL and the LDL particles. Last top, I think this might be one of the last slide. I think which diet you should. This is a usual question. See, so many diets are there. Omnivorous diet. That means taking. I am a omnivorous. I'll take both veg and non-veg, but I'll be a flexitarian diet also. Primarily, my diet is a plant-based one. I occasionally take some chicken or something like that. You all know about the Mediterranean diet. Ketogenic diet is the one that very high in fat, and some people argue ketogenic diet is very useful in reducing the weight. And some people also say about the paleo diet. Okay, vegetarian diet. I think when vegans are the one that they exclude all the animal products, whereas vegetarian sometimes they take egg and all. So whatever the diet you consume, your keto diet or paleo diet, Mediterranean diet, these are all rich in proteins and carbohydrates and fats. For example, keto diets is maybe rich in fats. Actually, all of them, our body is hardwired. I can say our metabolic process are interconnected. Okay, you cannot see. For example, I can live you can live on fats because your fats also getting converted into glycerol and fatty acids and enter into pyruvic acid. Some people may only live on carbohydrates that also being converted into pyruvate. Some of the glucogenic amino acids also being converted into pyruvate. The pyruvate is the first junction. Okay, and even that first junction itself, your proteins, carbohydrates, fats are getting connected. Whichever you take more, the body convert. If it is not, something is not available, the body convert them into the other one. And the second junction is the acetyl-CoA. Acetyl-CoA is the one that is actually it is present. These are all happening in the inside the mitochondria. Actually, acetyl-CoA is a forerunner for producing your electron chain energy, ATP. So these are all actually here also we are getting connected. All the amino acids, carbohydrates, fats are connected indirectly. Look at the cholesterol. The cholesterol is being there here. Okay, from the acetyl-CoA it is being synthesized. So whatever you take, sometime in a different way they contribute in the cholesterol synthesis, or whatever the diet you choose, you enjoy the life. If you say you argue your Mediterranean diet is good, go ahead, and that also go into the same metabolism. And unnecessary discussion on this subject is very may not be useful. What I usually say, enjoy every diet, but if you want to take, don't take a very big meal, because if you want, you divide. Today you are taking a very good food, non-vegetarian food, biryani or something like so many things, burger or pizza, enjoy it. But don't same day don't increase by taking another big rich diet. So that is why I always say divide the diet, then you can enjoy the life ever. And I always say that some people in the blue zones live longer than that. We are all discussing, we are all doing every 3 months monitoring our lipid profile, blood glucose, HbA1c, and we are all controlling ourselves. But I came to know that there are 5 to 6 spots in the world that are living a much better life than that, because I think we have to learn many things from them. Research is going on. So generally enjoy the life, take everything, but don't exceed the limit. And I don't say this diet is good, vegetarian diet is good, non-vegetarian diet is paleo diet, not like that. Every diet is good. Whichever is suitable for you, you can enjoy. You can also include a lot of vegetables and fruits. That's very important. I think this may be a last slide. Thank you very much. Okay.